All right. Good morning, everybody. Look at this official mic speaker setup we got this morning. Is it working though? Because you guys are still talking really loud. Can you hear me? I don't want to interrupt. This is awesome watching all you guys network. This is great. Coffee and donuts are here in case you don't know. Coffee and donuts have arrived. Please help yourself. While I'm at it, I'll just thank Hero Donuts for supplying us with those this morning. Also, if you have never been here before, you are at the Line Creek Bus Barn. Line Creek Brewing started in Peachtree City, expanded to Fayetteville, and now they have a location in Noonan as well. If you haven't been down there, it's beautiful. But we're very grateful to them for giving us this space. It's amazing. Really appreciate it. If you don't already know the history of 1 Million Cups, it was started by the Kauffman Foundation out in Kansas City. And they started the 1 Million Cups movement to caffeinate entrepreneurs every Wednesday. So we are the Atlanta South chapter of 1 Million Cups, and we are here in the Bus Barn every Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. or till whatever time everybody wants to leave. I have a meeting at 11 today, though, just so you know. I got to get out of here at least 10:45. But I encourage you all to stay and network and get to know each other. This really has become quite the community of people, and I really appreciate you all for being here. I think I only really have one other announcement to make, and that's just about Startup Fayette. A few people who were at Startup Fayette last night are here this morning. I love to see that. But Startup Fayette has a pitch contest coming up on November 28th. All applications are in. The committee is reviewing them. The contestants, I suppose, will get notified in about 2 weeks. We as a committee have had a lot of fun planning this event. It is going to be really well produced. So I highly encourage you all to come. It's going to be a really great time. It's taking place at 240 Glen Street, which you could pretty much walk to from here. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know or go to the Startup Fayette website. I see some phones coming out. Please scan the QR code and check in. The process should be very simple. You just have to either enter your email address or create a quick account. And then you'll let us know that you're here, which we appreciate knowing. Or corporate appreciates knowing. I can see you and I appreciate you. All right, what else do I have to say? Did I cover everything? That's what happens when you go off script. I think I've covered everything. But before we turn the mic over to the presenter this morning, someone from our community has an ask of us, and I'd like to ask her to come up and share that with us. Margaret?
Good morning, everyone. Some of you are familiar to me, but some of you I've never seen before, so yay. My name is Margaret Coleman. I wear many, many hats. Today, I'm wearing the hat of Fayette County Schools. I'm the new mentor specialist for the mentoring program. Some of you may be aware that Fayette County Schools have a mentoring program for students K through 12. If you're not, I wasn't. It's true. And what I do is try to connect students from all of our schools. We have 14 elementary schools, 5 middle schools, 5 high schools, and Life Academy, where we are constantly getting referrals from counselors and teachers for students who need mentors. So I am out in the community looking for mentors. And what we're asking is 30 minutes a week at lunchtime, sometime during the school day, just to sit with the student and chat. We are not asking for any special skills. We're not asking for any experience. Obviously we're gonna run a background check, but all we really need is people to just be another adult in somebody's life. And some of these students have issues and some don't. Some just need an opportunity to talk to people. They wanna grow their people skills, or they might need help reading, or just little things. If you can spare 30 minutes a day at any school in Fayette County, talk to me, connect with me. I have some flyers, I have my business cards, the QR code. If you want to sign up immediately, you can do that now. Actually, Jason, I was thinking about you the other day. I was like, you know what? Jason might have 30 minutes a week to spend with the student. Yes, you literally popped in my brain. So I'm glad you're here, but I'm glad all of you are here to understand that if this isn't for you, maybe you know somebody that might be able to do this. And not that I don't love having women mentors, please come, but we are short on male mentors. We get a lot of boy referrals and they prefer to have a male mentor because they need a man in their life. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. I do.
It's so nice to meet you. I am so grateful for everyone spending their morning with us. And I'm really excited to share what we're up to in what we call South Atlanta. But before I start, I am Jackie Thornton. I get the great pleasure of working with some phenomenal folks, and some are in the room that are dedicated to individuals who are differently able. And the reason why I say differently able is because words matter. And what you say resonates deeply with individuals. So in the past, and what you'll see in the world around us are individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities is what we hear all the time. But what I'm here to talk about are the talents and the skills and the vibrancy of some incredible lives that live in your neighborhoods and around you that thrive because of the support that individuals like Margaret was talking about, coaching and being present and seeking for what is abled rather than what's disabled in a human being. So I'm going to talk about my human experience. So I get the pleasure of birthing this young man. His name is Miles Thornton. And Miles Thornton came into the world late. We couldn't get that baby to come. 3 days of inducement. Oh my God. If you've ever been there, you don't want to join that party again. But when he came, 5 pounds, 4 ounces, and thrived, we knew in utero he had heart anomalies. And when he had his first open heart surgery at 2.5, we thought it was over. And then at the age of 5, he was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. They called it Asperger's at the time, and ADHD. He had fine motor skill challenges that he could hardly hold a pencil in his hand at the age of 5, let alone write. And he was on the move like a rocket, right? He had that surgery. And he was empowered. He had a great source of oxygen running through his brain, and he was on fire about the world. But when I got a call from his school principal and said, we can't meet Miles's needs, I couldn't understand that. Every child, right? Leave no child what? Behind. And I was like, sir, you're not saying that my child is going to be left behind. And I get to the school, and Miles is running circles around the classroom. He turned age 5, 3 days before kindergarten started. Miles was still in preschool mindset. Y'all know what that's like, to be forced to sit and behave and be very quiet. And that rambunctious guy is trying to take in all the world because he couldn't when he was a toddler. And now being told, sit, be quiet, be attentive, it was impossible. So I got to that school, and he runs out and he gives me this great big hug, and we slide down the wall. I'm in tears, and he's looking at me, what's wrong with mommy? It's like, he is getting expelled at 5 years old. How in the world does that happen? Why don't we have the resources to keep a child abled? Well, fast forward. Miles gets to age 14, and his dad tells him at age 5, guess what? Your ADHD, guess what? Your autism is your superpower. That kid believed us. Oh my God. He just graduated in May with a 3.27 GPA from Beacon College because people saw his abilities beyond that 5-year-old kid and us sliding down the wall crying. So I was brought to this business by Miles. I was only planning to be his mother. I was having a wonderful career in aging services with older adults in gerontology, absolutely having a ball at the height of my career. And I meet this woman. If any of you all know Jennifer Conforti, oh my God, what a powerhouse. And she rocked my world and changed it. She and Miles. I got on the board of Two Sparrows Village, which is where I'm employed now. And I never knew that I would be on this journey and this trajectory. And I'm coming to you because I want to unveil a problem in our greater society. It's not just here, it's all over the planet. Tons and tons of great research, even in the UK. All of us families who have differently able human beings in our lives. And one day you wake up and you say, wait a minute, these highlights are not the blonde sets that are gifted me. I'm not going to live forever. What's going to happen to who? Miles. And we can't wait for the government or the philanthropists. We have to pull up our bootstraps and do something and do it now with urgency. I'm just going to ask a real quick question. How many of you would believe that in this little township, how many people do you think are living with autism in this municipality? Over 1,400 between ages 3 to 22. Where are they going to be in 5 or 10 years? They're going to be with us. And you see this amazing community here? We're going to be creating Two Sparrows Village in pocket neighborhoods so that those young people have an amazing pathway to vibrancy the way that Miles has, right? Our goal is to one day, with Jennifer's Abby, and I know many of you know Abby, and you're going to see pictures of Abby. So I'm going to point out my Miles first. This is my Miles. He's in a teaching kitchen. We have local chefs come out to the community, and they actually teach them how to increase their culinary skills, not just for themselves, but anything you learn at home can be replicated in workforce and life. And then there's Jesse on the far right with me. Oh, I have on the same dress. Imagine that. Jesse, we call him our household zoologist. If anything you want to know about arachnia, oh, believe me, there isn't a professor on the planet that knows more. And then down at the bottom is Georgie. Georgie is a whisperer of dogs. I mean, she's a dog whisperer. She's a pet, any mammal. Absolutely. Goats, a goat whisperer. And then there's Cornell, who's our household, everything you want to know about what's going on in the news. He is Mr. Current Events. Anything about basketball, football, baseball, I mean, literally, this kid can unpack it all and give you all the stats. What we need to overcome these challenges that we see, one, 90% of the people that are living with disabilities, intellectual and developmental disabilities, it could be comorbidities, but their primary being autism, typically want jobs and can't find jobs. 75% of them live with their parents. And there was a recent study by Georgians for Healthy Futures that revealed to us out of 1,640 or 52, I'll get the math right, but a little over 1,600 people participated in this survey. 56% of them said, I'm concerned about myself when mom and dad and family are gone. But we're here to say, there shall be two sparrows. Our vision is to see a Two Sparrows Village 200 miles from every major municipality around the world. Well, you all know that's Jennifer, that's not Jennifer. But I believe we can do it with the power of the people in this room and the people that 1 million cups, introducing this idea of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. We know that after 2 or 3 years ago, belonging is essential. And I want you to think about, in your unique experience, what gives you the greatest joy? Tell me. Come on, Jason. Friends and family. Anybody else care? Yes. Nature. Anyone else? Serving the community. These people that I'm speaking of, our people, they want the same thing. So here's a challenge for you. Do you all know what NIMBYism is? Not in my backyard. I can't tell you how many times we've gone to speak and talk about the incredible lives of the people we serve. And Nora, you know them. You get to spend time with them weekly. You actually provide them nutrition on a regular basis. They are the most phenomenal people you shall ever meet. They have dreams and aspirations, and they have gifts that are by far the most amazing. Let me tell you some of the folks that are our folks. Anybody know this guy? Kind of weird, kind of out there, kind of strange, you might say. Ty Pennington. Extreme Makeover. Do you remember that guy? I met his mom when Miles was 5, and she's the one that gave me the pep talk. Get over it. He's going to be phenomenal. And he is. He lives with ADHD. Other people that you know that are doing phenomenal things in life, that are living with so-called disabilities, we call them differently able. I love to live next door to a Stevie Wonder. I don't know if I'd love to live next door to Elon Musk, but that's a different matter. But he's just a phenomenal guy. You gotta say he's a phenomenal guy, right? So what I'm saying is that these phenomenal people shall live with you one day. And if they should get land in your community, think of what it would be like to be in community and create diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging for these individuals to live in pocket neighborhoods that are absolutely beautiful. So let's turn the slides and see what some of this looks like. If you've been, I challenge you to make an appointment either with me or any of our team to come out and do a Two Sparrows Village tour. You will be changed. I promise you that. Next slide. This is about us. Yeah, I don't know. Next slide. This is our Abby. That QR code will take you to all things Jackie and how to get me and run me down, including in the middle of the night. Abby is the reason why I have to stay until Abby can be served. We have to serve the full continuum. And we have to serve them in neighborhoods and not isolated in warehousing people off in nowhere's man land. They need the vibrancy of nature. And you and I can create that by overcoming NIMBYism, by advocating for the change that we need to see in federal and state and city laws, zoning. Show up for us when we go to the zoning boards to create these pocket neighborhoods. Next slide. Beautiful Alex is in pastoral care studies. She works at the local nursing home that's on the same campus in which our cottage is. She is the sweetest spirit and the most magnificent person, and she wants to be a marine biologist. Next slide. Oh, and Coach Q. This is what our pocket neighborhood shall look like when we grow. And what do you want to live? Anyone would want to live there. And they deserve beautiful neighborhoods that are connected, resource rich, live, work, play opportunities. And you only get that there through change and perception, right? Now, I know, and as you've heard me speak, I'm probably a little bit differently able. Because I know I have undiagnosed ADHD. I grew up at a time that you didn't get to get assessed. But I know who I am. And you all have given me this grand opportunity to stand on this stage. And I guarantee you, any of these young people can do this job way better than I can presenting to you today. And I want them to have access. And I want them to live in a multi-generational atmosphere. There's so much to get from the culture of the differences of ages, differences of diversity. So there's this new term that I want you to know. Anybody heard of neurodiversity or neurodivergent? Okay. There's neurotypical. Most of us in this room are neurotypical, and then there's neurodivergent. Individuals who are differently able want to be called neurodivergent. They don't want to be called disabled. So that's the new nuggets. But they also want to be in an inclusive community. I want you to think of how can I create jobs, peer-to-peer coaching opportunities for them to gain a skill. Let us work for you for free for 6 or 8 months. Let us show, and you can tell, and help our people to thrive and get that next opportunity. That's exactly what happened. Went to Clothes Less Travel, went to this amazing little spot that's on campus, that's a thrift store. They have now retail skills. And they are actually working. That's the power of one. Okay, so I've said too much. I'm sure there are questions. I'm ready for questions.
What is your funding model or your fundraising model to get to this place where you're able to build these neighborhoods, or your first, neighborhood?
Exactly. So we have our prototype over at Christian City, 4 apartment suites with a concierge suite for someone to live in a community with them. So they need support, need someone to help them navigate a website to get a job application completed, then we have that person. In order to be break even, we need 16 apartments, right? So that's our next goal. We have the great blessing of 4 acres on Christian City's campus that they are going to allow us to do a 99-year lease to expand our model. 60 apartments is our sweet spot where we can capitalize and reinvest and keep building, reinvest and keep building. The way that we fundraise, every individual, your $5, your $10, your $25, your sponsorship dollars, your coming to Bird Bash on November 9th. We would love to have you there. We last year wanted to raise $30,000 for a bus and got in the room, and people got so excited about what we're doing and heard from the voices of the people who are receiving your grace. And we raised $103,000 that night, blew us away. That we need folks to just come and share. We need your influence. That's what we need. Yes, Jason.
Yeah, what you're doing, I've never heard anybody do anything like this, and I love it. I've never heard anybody doing anything quite like this, and I like the vision, and it's awesome. I was just wondering, have you reached out to any other groups around that's doing similar things? I know we have reachakg.org, who does respite care, and also I believe she's in the room that does Southside Support.
Yeah. We love each other.
Gotcha. So yeah, I didn't know if you already networked.
Yes.
But that it seems like those will be some good groups to network with.
I appreciate it. So rest services is, we have a respite spot in our adult day. And I do have a little flyer here and over there for you to see. Our model is this: all things that helps you to be successful. We need some essential things. We need housing, right? We need supportive services, wraparound services, healthcare, all the things that's bundled under social determinants of health. We're providing that in our model. And we have to partner to do that well. So when we can't find a solution for families, when they come to us because we already have 37 on the waiting list, waiting for that door to open, we need your help to open our doors. And when we were waiting, we send them to Southside Support. We refer them to Exceptional Ops. We refer them for respite so parents can have downtime, and the folks that are living with them that are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that are absolutely tired of being at home. They're tired of being in that one room or that basement flat. They get an opportunity to come out and actually experience that independence.
Thanks, Jason. There is a nonprofit organization, I'll have to find the name for you, but they build cluster homes. They've got cluster homes out in Decatur or DeKalb County. It's not focused on the audience that you're looking at to serve, but they have experience in building that way. And if you'd like to be connected with that, I can get that information for you.
Absolutely. We are a part of the coalition called Better Living Together. That's out of DeKalb County and Decatur with the SAS family. And we know a lot about that modeling. Here's what we want to do is to bring it to scale. We want to move out of the cottage experience to the pocket neighborhood experience, where we can have 16 or 20 people, but it may be 4 people with IDD, and then the other are living like us, who don't mind living next door to a person who's differently able. Because what we don't want to do is create a warehouse. We don't want to, everybody's alike, right? No, diversity, diversity, diversity. Yes, there's a question. Yes. Oh, come this way, Jason.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, you might want to come that way. It's a little dangerous there.
Good morning. I was
morning.
curious about your help, the last bullet point.
Yes.
Can you elaborate, please?
So I talk about these silos, right? The silos are that government agencies don't talk to each other typically. So people who are in developmental disabilities and people in Department of Community Health and the people in Department of Community Affairs, where the housing and the low-income housing tax credit funds are, they don't typically work across those lines. But so I may be Miles, I'm Miles, and I may be getting my waiver funding from DBHDD. And that's on my health side. And then I may be getting community health services through partnerships that provide for community living assistance, meaning my housing side. And I might grow out of needing that particular model and wanting to live independent with my own door, with my own patio and my own back porch. And then I'm going to be moving and transitioning into low-income housing tax credit property, or a home funded property, or Section 811, where I will live with older adults and also with seniors and differently able folks. None of them see me as a whole person. So think of it like this. You have a primary care physician for your whole body, and then you have specialists for the aching arm from arthritis, the dentist for your oral health. But someone needs to be a central center to think of Jackie and Miles and Abby and Jennifer as a whole person. And that these things should come and converge together, and they ought to sit around the table and look at what's best for Miles as Miles and not these fractions. So that's why we need to have better policymaking that address the social determinants of health around continuous education and vocational access to opportunities and careers. We need to be able to have housing quality. And affordability is a word that's turned to nasty word. I don't know why, but affordability is very personal, right? What's affordable to me isn't affordable to you, maybe differently affordable for you. Affordability means that whatever the market should bear, if I'm able to fit my pockets into that framework and live, I ought to still have quality no matter where that there is. So that's what that's about. Is that helpful? Okay.
So is there a cost to the actual resident? And if so, what does that model look like? Is it a rent model? When you get the cottage
Yes.
community, is it purchasing? like, you know?
I love
into
that. I love
community?
those questions. Love those questions. What we dream of is an equity model. And there are statutes in the state of Georgia that allow for equity models under what we call life plan community living. And that's what we're looking at. You know, when I turned 21 and left 20 and left college, right? I had a little starter home that I went into. And then I left my starter home and had my family home, right? And there ought to be an opportunity for you to one day own, right? And so we want to partner with folks who've done that successfully, like Habitat for Humanity. And if we can't do it and we have the means, maybe we have a trust fund. If we want to buy our brick and mortar for our lifetime forever home, it ought to be that way. But if I can't afford that, I ought to be able to use my resources and unsilo my funds, because they see DCA sees you as a funding, DBHDD has funding, but I can't use my funding across my need and how I want to use my funding. Well, there's something called self-directed waivers, and that unlocked the key for choice. So we right now have a renter's model, and it's a lease. It's an annual lease. It's $1,550 a month. Now, if you do the math, if you're just starting out, when I started out in my 20s, I couldn't afford $1,550 a month. Things have changed a little bit. But those who have waivers, they can use for the social service component of our model, which is about a third, towards funding that. And now they're only out of pocket using their Social Security, insurance. They're using their SSDI, that's what that is. They're using their workforce earnings to make this model work. And that's the goal, is to get them where they're earners and they're vibrant work career oriented people, so that they can put those coins away, as the kids would say, and stash, right? Invest in what is called the Georgia Trust Fund. You can have up to $150,000 in the Georgia Trust Fund, living with subsidies from these programs, because you are differently able and you need support lifelong, and to be able to invest that someday in your forever home, or however you want to live. Yes.
Hi, thank you so much for being here. My question is, it's about what you just said, but before you said it, I was already thinking it. How do you ensure that your residents that are living with you, the ones that you see the potential to be able to move on and maybe own their own home, without taking on fiduciary responsibility, how do you ensure that they are saving and that that bank account is actually growing every single
I'm
month?
so glad you asked that. So we have an adult day center. And the adult day is also what we call community access service center. For those who are capable and we're teaching, now some people will always lifelong need a fiduciary, right? And they'll need a banker. That has nothing to do with IDD. Like, I could have used a banker in my early years of mismanaging funds and learning how, because I didn't come from a family where they taught us how to manage our finance, how to invest. But I was a quick study. And so I got there eventually. But it was with people supporting, consulting, and teaching us how. So we do those continuing education. That's a wonderful, if you're a fiscal agent or in the finance world, we would love to have you come to workshops. We walk them through these processes. We ask them what their goals are. We do what we call individual service plans. And on their service plan, there are the 8 dimensions of wellness and the 7 domains of well-being. In the 8 dimensions, there is a dimension that is called vocational and financial resiliency. And in there, we must connect dots for them to say, hey, this is what I plan to do. So Jesse, let's start it. Can we go back to Jesse? Well, we'll see Jesse. Jesse only wants to live with us for 2 years. He's already been here with us a year. He is anxious to live and have his own front door in what he calls a normal community, right? So I'm like, okay, what do you need first? You need a job, right? We helped him get pathway to the job. While he's getting a job, your funds, whoever contributed, went into paying for him to get certified as a dog groomer. That's his life aspiration. So he now has the course. He's taking the courses, getting A's and B's in the courses. Is a 1-year course. We already have found him an apprentice. Then we have banks. We have banks on site, and we ensure they have their own banks. Their banks on site are incentive bucks. So when they volunteer, they get cash. And that cash builds up, and then we ask them in their individual service plan, what are you planning to do? Do you know this young man won't spend a dime even when we go out to fun, really fun places, fun spot, because he's saving for his apartment to live on his own. And we're tracking for that. And we're going to do it for every single person that lives with us and every person that participates in our adult day. Because that's the thing. Independence is what they want. We got to get them there. Age group, very good question. 18 and older. So if folks come to live with us and they say, Two Sparrows Village is our forever home, we embrace it. So when they age out, remember, we're looking at the what? Whole person. Our needs don't change as an adult when we hit adulthood, and then we get to middle, what we call quarter life, half life, 3/4 life. We still have those same needs: housing, food, nutrition, all of these things, so they never have to leave.
I'm really happy you're here. I have a lot of things to say.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you later. But one of the things I wanted to mention, because there is a date coming up that's closing on October 22nd. If you have anyone who's interested in getting any Grow With Me Google certificates,
Yes.
have you had a chance to look through those before?
I have with my son.
Okay, so there's a friend of mine right now who you know who has a grant, who's providing 500 programs for 500 individuals who are interested in the
Woo, that's
Google
like striking
program.
gold.
Yeah. So the application closes on the 22nd.
Okay.
There's, I think it's just like 16 and over, and that's the only requirement.
Okay.
They will be hosting a meeting with individuals to make sure that they plan to complete the program. They want to make sure that these funds are going towards people who actually
Sure.
want these certificates. So don't let me forget to give you that information.
I won't. And you have on it one of my spirit animals. I'm gonna find you.
Got it.
Yes, another question in the back.
I'm all right. I need to move around actually.
Before you actually get all of your communities, are you allowing individuals who are higher functioning on the spectrum to come and participate in some of your day programs
Absolutely.
that don't live there? And
Mhm.
what is that process?
Yeah. So when you live with us, you automatically pay into adult day services, whether you have the means to do the full day or the half day. We're committed to those folks having all that they need. We can't remain open and see and realize our dream unless those 4 people who live with us right now are fully successful and supported. The people in the community on the waiting list, we want them to start getting engaged with us so we can start tracking and doing ISPs and getting them to where they want to be. So even if they don't meet the independence quotient to live with us on the independent living side, they have that exposure. And let me say, people who are differently abled, especially on the autism spectrum, they are absolutely happy being alone, right? They are not lonely when they're alone, as Kelly would say. But we know that how essential being together is for our overall well-being. And they are going to be more successful, supported. So we're trying to pull them out of those basements, pull them out of those isolated homes and rooms that they are gaming and just having a blast, talking to people clear across the world. That there's so much more getting outside those doors. So yes, we are absolutely always providing them.
I wanted to make a quick comment about that because My husband and I, we have our own nonprofit, the Fitness Ranch, and we worked with Two Sparrows Village this summer.
It was a blast.
And so many of the participants didn't believe they could do certain things.
Yes.
And in 2 weeks, they all tried archery and had fun with that. They were in the pool playing even when they had a fear of water.
Yes.
They went hiking even when they had a fear of bugs, and Jesse was there to educate all of us on every bug.
And don't forget the surfing on the rock.
Oh, yes. Oh, that was more an education in one not to do.
Right, what not to do.
But they collaborated with each other, they played with each other, they participated in fitness activities and craft activities. And even those that typically would not interact in that supportive environment, they were highly interactive, not just with each other, with us and with the animals.
Yes.
And a lot of them lost fears in the process. So what you guys are doing for the day program where you're including additional members in these activities is amazing. And I
Thank
see it
you.
on their faces
Thank
every week
you.
they come by.
Thank you so much. Collaboration is the key. We are one community. And that's really what I want you to leave with is what can I do as a community member for what I have to give? Every one of us has something different to give. And we're just asking, like Mark, you said 30 minutes. 30 minutes can transform people's lives. I promise you. Just being present. Do you know it's how important it is to be seen? So often the people that we serve go unnoticed. I call it the silent disability. And we're such when you travel abroad, especially in France, you don't have elbow room. You don't have the luxury. Everyone's very close. You could hear their conversations. And I was uncomfortable being there because I didn't have all of the space to isolate. But I began, as I stayed a little longer, a few more days, I began to enjoy the company and began to get outside of my own closets and norms. And that's what you all gifted them to get outside of their norms. And nature unlocks so much of that. And I don't care if you just come with us and have a walk around our trail and just to have a conversation. I promise you, it will transform their lives. Those are the things that we hear about, is when people come in and they are allowed to be seen and to be a part of community.
Jackie, thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for
Thank
coming and sharing
you.
with us today. You're amazing.
Thank you so much.
Some amazing people in our community, including all of you. The things that you guys have brought to the room this morning are just amazing. I just want to thank everybody for being here. I realized what I didn't say at the beginning is thank you to Casey with Jason Hunter Design to make sure that all the organizing and promoting is being done so that you all know who's speaking and when. And well, by now you should know when. It should be in your calendars on a recurring event, right? And also Road Ready Events for bringing the sound system this morning. Makes a big difference, right? Yeah, it's awesome. We have another presenter scheduled for the next 2 weeks, and then we have an open gap again. I know there's a couple people in the room who said they're going to apply. I'm just going to encourage you all again, if you haven't already spoken, and even if you have an update you want to share with us, please go back into the system and apply. It'd be great to have you up here on stage with us. And if you know anybody else out there in your daily lives that you think would benefit from sharing themselves and their ideas and businesses with us, please send them our way. Anybody else have anything they want to share?
As someone who's been to this beautiful community,
It's gorgeous. Yeah, for 10 years, this building was just sitting abandoned. Yeah. We absolutely adore them.
Amy,
Thanks.
Thank you for that.
Excellent. Thank you guys all for being
God
here.
bless. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. So there's an organization locally here in Fayette County called FACE. They put on an art festival on Drake Field once a year. It is this coming weekend. It's called the Magnolia Arts Festival. It's both Saturday and Sunday. There is some beautiful social media posts out there that talk about what the entertainment schedule is going to be like. You'll get to see art being made in front of you. I assume they're doing that again, right? Yeah. Drake Field in Peachtree City. Yep, right on Route 54, right by the public library, right on Lake Peachtree. It's beautiful. And that is just one event that FACE puts on. In April, they're also putting on an event called the Artpreneur. I think we're calling it the Expo. Is that what we decided on? Yeah, Artpreneur Expo. If you are artistic or know somebody who is and would like to consider turning your art into an actual business, this is the place for you. There are 20 speakers. There's 6 panel sessions. It's going to be absolutely incredible. The website should be going live any day now, probably next week. I encourage you all to just keep your ears listening in on what that's going to be. It's also going to be a Trilith both in the shipyard and at Rome. It's an incredible program and it's extremely affordable. So if you have questions about that until the website's launched, feel free to ask me or Margaret. It's called the Artpreneur. And the website will be artpreneurexpo.com. I haven't even connected it to the website yet, but it'll be done very soon. And yeah. All right. See you guys next week.
That's cool. I have a friend that would probably be really interested in that. She just moved here from SCAD and is trying to get established in Atlanta.
Yeah, I
so-
mean, if nothing else.
yeah, exactly. That's this one.
Thanks, man.